Hello Buddy Crow, back again with another pickups video. I was actually going to try and wait another week before doing another pickups video, but I just have so much stuff in front of me, I think I better do it now. First thing you may notice is back behind me, the Star Trek, the Stern Star Trek pinball machine. The back glass is actually doing a little bit of a lighting effect. I got my mod from CoinTaker and I installed that. That was actually the last video I put up where I was going through all the mods I did in the Star Trek machine. So if you're interested in that and how that works with the gameplay, check that video out. If you're only interested in the back glass lighting kit, skip about halfway through the video, and then the rest of that video is just basically that thing. Also, I don't have a new phone yet. I'm still using my old T-Mobile G2X. I will probably put up a separate video whenever I do get another phone. I pretty much have decided what I'm going to get, but in case you're wondering what I was looking at either another Nexus 4, Nexus 5, Nexus 6, a OnePlus One, or a Moto X, the 2014 edition. But I've pretty much already decided. I'm just trying to go through the process of actually getting one of those. And there'll be a separate video for that. Now, in that video, I'll go through the pros and cons of each of those. As for games, let's start with Bayonetta 2. I don't have that game. I am looking at getting it at some point. The thing is, though, the reason I haven't bought it yet is because if I bought it now, I know I wouldn't get a chance to play it for a while. I'm playing some other stuff, and I'm just in no hurry to get it. But I will get it, and it might actually be the next pickups video I do. But, yeah, I don't have that yet. But I do have a stack of games here, and actually it's like none of these, all of these are for different systems. And actually this last one I should have put up in the last pickup video, but my wife got it, and she put it in her purse, and had it in her purse for the last month or so. And I just finally was like, hey, you know, can I get that game and see it? And that is Silent Hill, Book of Memories. Book of Memories is only on the Vita, and my wife is really into the Silent Hill games. So any Silent Hill game that comes out, we get it. This one doesn't play like any other Silent Hill game. This is more of an over-the-head run from room to room and attack everything you see, along with some puzzles type of deal. It does kind of have a Silent Hill atmosphere, but I wouldn't necessarily class this in the horror genre. I mean, it does have the horror appeal to it, but it's more action-based than anything else, I think. Also with the infuse of puzzles. Not too bad, I suppose, but you might be disappointed if you're looking into a classic Silent Hill type of deal. Next game, she picked this up from it was five or below. This was a $5 game, Shifting World, on the Nintendo 3DS. It almost seems like a digital type of game that would be digital download only. It's worth $5. What it is, it's kind of like a puzzle platformer, where at any time you can shift between the dimensions. The game is primarily black and white, and when you shift, you become either black or white, and the world rotates around. It's like you get sucked into the floor, and the world shifts around, and your goal is to basically get to the door to exit to the next level. And sometimes you need keys to do that, to either unlock the door or to unblock certain areas. So it's a really interesting puzzle game. It's really worth $5, I think, and yeah, really easy to get into. Maybe this could be, it's almost like it could be a stocking stuffer for somebody for Christmas. But yeah, Shifting World, not too bad. Next up, we were at 2nd and Charles this last Tuesday, because we both had the day off, because it happened to be my birthday. So we both had the day off, and we actually took a drive down to 2nd and Charles, because she'd never been there before, and I'd only been there on my lunch break. We took a good look around. I actually bought 3 things there, but 2 of them were games. First one I bought was this Sega Rally 2, or Sega Rally Championship. for the Dreamcast. I need to take this tape off still. They had a tape on there that kept the thing closed so nobody would steal the game on the inside. But I didn't have it. It was $5. So I was like, hey, for $5, I'm gonna get that because I like these Sega Rally games. I got the first game on the Saturn, but I didn't have this one for the Dreamcast, so I figured I'd pick it up. Yeah, just got the tape off there. A little bit sticky. I have to run some Goo Gone on there. But yeah, Sega Rally Champion. It was kind of hard, I think, to control the car. I didn't get past the second stage, but still kind of fun to play. I guess once you get used to the control, the game will be even more fun. So yeah, that's that one. Sega Rally 2. Second game I picked up at Second & Charles was this one, Sled Storm. Picked it up. It was $6. Got the manual and the disc in there. I picked it up because I knew this was a kind of like a sequel to, or pseudo sequel to SSX, and even some of the same characters are in this game. And you know, I saw the EA Big logo, and I was kind of surprised by last time the game Shocks. I was really impressed by it, so I went ahead and picked this one up too. It's not as good. I need to get used to the trick system. There's lots of shortcuts to take. Again, I don't think it's as interesting as SSX or Shocks, but still, I think it's worth to have in the collection. $6, not a bad price for this. So yeah, I got that. Next couple of things I actually bought specifically on eBay. First up, we got, and this was actually a game Sinister Moon picked up, and it reminded me, oh yeah, that's a game I kind of wanted. And when I looked it up, I think I found this copy for $8. Devilish, The Next Possession on the Genesis. Now, I remember hearing about this game and looking it up, and there's a Genesis version. There's a Genesis version, and there's a Nintendo DS version. And back then, really didn't remember seeing too many box copies of this going for too good of a price. So I bought the Nintendo DS version, but for some reason it reminded me that, hey, I don't have the Genesis version yet. Went and I found it for $8 and I bought it. Again, the case and the manual are in great shape, but the cartridge is kind of terrible. You got the sticker on there, the label's ripped. But I figured, you know what, just to have the box and the manual and a working copy of the game would be great. And looks like the top of this has had the top of the label ripped off and reprinted with a fake label, with a label maker. But I figure that, hey, maybe I'll run across just a loose copy of the game and I could replace it at some point. And for some reason, I like the way the Genesis game plays better than the Nintendo DS version. I don't know why, but it kind of plays like a game of Breakout, where you kind of breaking up through the screen. You can kind of move the paddles to like at least the top paddle to angle it to be certain directions. Yeah, and it kind of has a devil theme to it, I suppose. I didn't actually beat the first level, but yeah, it's a good game, I think. Sage's Creation might be one of their best games. And yeah, for the Genesis, really not much more I can say about that, so we'll move on. Next up is a game I already had, but I wanted to get the Japanese version of it, and I wanted to see the Japanese version of it for the longest time. This is Jammer Lammy for the Japanese PS1. Now you might be wondering, why would I want to get a Japanese version of this game when I already had the US version? And the reason is because the US version's actually been censored and altered a bit. And I always wanted to see what the original version of this game was. And first thing you'll see is that the case is kind of weird. In fact, this is the back. They kind of reversed the case a bit. So this is like the back of the case. And what you see here in the hole is actually the CD. The CD has been put in there upside down. So you put the CD in there upside down just to get the effect. And then the manual, instead of showing the front of the case, is showing the back of the case. So it's some creative packaging right there. A lot more creative than the US version, which actually the cover kind of sucks on that. But yeah, there's actually a part in the game, the original game, where you go to hell. You die and you go to hell. And once you beat the person in hell, they send you with a fax machine actually back to the real world. In the US version of the game, that is altered to where you get sent to a desert island, and there's a concert on a desert island, and all the references to hell and everything are removed. Even in the first song, the lyrics are changed, because the first song actually foresees what is going to happen to you later in the game. So instead of referencing you're going to go to hell, it references that you're going to go to an island. Actually, some of the other songs I think may have been altered slightly. Even the one about the cutting up trees to make another guitar, I think that one's kind of altered slightly too. I mean, I played through the game. Once I got it, I played through the game in like 15 minutes. Because once you get the hang of the game, it's actually not too hard. And then once you beat the game, you can play the game through as Parappa, and all the songs are altered to be rap. And then there's like a Lammy and Parappa mode. Actually, like this game more than the first Parappa the Rappa. I mean, this is kind of a pseudo sequel to Parappa the Rappa. And then Parappa the Rappa 2 is on PlayStation 2. But this is guitar, and yeah, the game's kind of short once you can fly right through it, but it's still fun to play, and the storyline is really crazy. The whole story is that Lammy's trying to get to her concert. She's got 15 minutes to do it, yet all this crazy stuff happens to her along the way, and it actually takes way more than 15 minutes in real life, but it's a game. So yeah, it's Jammer Lammy, the Japanese version of it. Next up is another game that I've wanted for the longest time, and I finally saw a copy of it that I thought was acceptable because I wanted it in the box. That is Time Gal on the Sega CD. This is the cardboard box. This has just basically the cardboard box in the game. There's no instruction manual, but I was fine with that. Since I liked Road Avenger so much, I kind of always wanted to get Time Gal because it's the same type of game. But I was kind of disappointed by this a little bit, because it's not as intuitive as Road Avenger, I think. Road Avenger, you kind of got the gist of the storyline at first. This kind of goes, the intro kind of goes all over the place. And when you start the game, it really doesn't, it just starts you off. You're like automatically back in time. I really don't know what the goal is. Maybe that's in the manual. Oh, here we go. Time's running out. The devious Luda is loose in time and out to change history of mankind. Help Time Gal stop him before the world as you know it is destroyed. So I guess, I don't know, it doesn't really tell you who Luda is or whatever. You just start off back in time, and it kind of starts you off. Every time you start the game, it's not always the same thing. So sometimes you start different scenes off, sometimes you're reversed. So yeah, that's interesting. Once you play the game over and over again, I'm sure you can kind of see what's going to happen. And you're going to know what button pushes to do it ahead of time. It kind of threw me off because there's these 4 bubbles, you know, in the up, bottom, left, and right of the screen. And whenever they light up is when you have to hit the button. And it doesn't seem to really give you that much time. I even set the game to like easy difficulty, and I still had trouble doing it unless I knew what was coming up in advance. But yeah, it's just all over the place. Occasionally, she'll stop time, and you'll have a decision to make. But even only one of those decisions seem to be right. The other 2 will make you redo it like you died. So I think that's kind of silly. Also, I got kind of thrown off the first time I saw all lights blink at the same time. Because I was like, what does that mean? Does that mean I could hit any direction? And no, it actually means you have to hit the fire button. So take some time getting used to that. Because with Road Avenger, it said kind of right in the middle of the screen what direction you had to hit, or whether or not you had to hit the gas or the brakes. And this one, you kind of got to look all over the screen at once, because maybe you'll see the up blink, but unless you see them all blink, it could either be up or fire. So yeah, it's a little bit more difficult maybe. Like it says, over 30 minutes of full motion animation, because, well, that means that the game doesn't last more than 30 minutes once you can play all the way through it. But it's still one of those games I wanted to get for the Sega CD collection, just because it's kind of like I guess kind of one of those iconic games for the system, perhaps. So yeah, maybe one of those more well-known ones. Well, it was more well-known to me, so I had to get it at some point. So that's Time Gal. Last game I have here is actually a game my wife wanted for her birthday. long time ago, back in April, and she knew this game was coming out, and she asked her dad for the game, and that game is The Evil Within. So supposedly she said, well, don't get me anything for my birthday, but when the game comes out, get the game for me for my birthday, even though it's going to be several months later. But what's funny was that she asked for it for the Xbox 360. And if you're wondering, he's like, hey, if you have a PlayStation 4, why would she ask for it back for the PlayStation? Why would she ask for it for the Xbox 360 over the PlayStation 4? Maybe later, okay? So, the reason was because, well, back then we didn't have a PlayStation 4, but we have Xbox 360s all over the place. We have one in the living room. She would have been playing that in the living room. We don't have the PS4 in there. I guess we could get in the PS TV and stream it through there or whatnot. But what's funny was that she asked for her dad for it whenever it came out, and then we told him it came out, and then he didn't actually get it at first, and then he ordered it online, and then turned out he ordered the PS4 version. So we're gonna actually just keep the PS4 version, I think. And I played it a little bit. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not too keen on horror games myself, but this seemed pretty interesting. It seemed like, yeah, like it's not like Silent Hill. It's not like Resident Evil. I don't really know how to describe it. I mean, I only played up until the starting credits actually started, and I thought that was kind of interesting, where you're trying to escape the guy with the chainsaw. And yeah, so I guess it's trying to be a horror game without all the jump scares, which is fine because you're kind of creeping around trying to avoid all this stuff. Actually, just from what I played, yeah, I think it's actually halfway decent. So yeah, this has the Fighting Chance pack, which has a code in it for whatever. So I played a little bit while she actually watched, and she said she's gonna like the game. So there you go. And that is all the games I have, but I do have some gaming accessories. We are at Walmart and we saw these, and I had to get one, and my wife actually got the other one. And they are GameCube style controllers for, well, they're for the Wii U, but they actually plug into the Wii remote. And the reason I thought these would be great is because I thought they would work great for Mario Kart 8. And they'll also work with Smash Brothers for the Wii U. So you don't have to actually get the GameCube adapter if you don't want to get it. You can just get a controller for that. But there's Mario, and here's Yoshi. There's also a Peach one we haven't seen yet, and there's, I think, also Luigi one. I've seen a picture of that somewhere. But the only place I've seen these so far was Walmart, and they were $25 each. This has not been opened yet. This one has been opened. So I got it right here, and it's got red. It's kind of got the Mario theme on it. Now, kind of lighter than the GameCube one. It doesn't have the rumble feature in it. It does have a couple alterations, and I think they're for the better than the GameCube. I don't think the GameCube had the buttons in the middle like this, but it's got the plus, the home, the minus. The C-stick, where the C-stick was, is like a regular analog stick now, instead of kind of that weird nub they had. And up on top, you had the Z button up here, but I don't think you had anything over here. Now you got a right and left bumper up here, and as well as the they feel like they're analog, but I don't know if they actually are, but they do click finally into place. So I've been using this to play Mario Kart, and it has been the best controller I've been using so far. And especially since that, I've been playing Mario Kart 8 a little bit more since that first downloadable pack came loose, or they released it. And I was kind of surprised that I turned it on the one day and it was ready. And the reason I was surprised is because nobody was really talking about it being released. And I just kind of hit me by surprise. I was like, oh, I didn't know this content was out now. Because usually people are talking about stuff all the time on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. But honestly, I haven't really been checking YouTube a whole lot recently. Actually, I got some toys here. So first up, actually for my birthday, my in-laws, I guess, got me this. This is the box for it, the Knight Rider. I saw this at Toys R Us. The reason they got me is because I was looking at this at Toys R Us for a while, and so this was boxed. But here is the I'm gonna find a spot for this. Here is Knight Rider himself. So, he's got a little button. When you hit it, the thing goes off.
All systems functioning.
Pretty cool. He lights up on the inside. Doors don't open or anything. But what was funny was when they first gave it to me, I was hitting the button, and I remember hitting the button in the store, and the lights were going off, but there was no sound. And in the store, I was like, well, that's just because it's the demo. But when I hit it into the regular mode and I hit the buttons, the lights were coming on, but the speakers, I mean, there was not still making any sound or anything. So I said, well, I'll go return it. They didn't have the receipt or anything, but I was like, I'll just go return it at Toys R Us. Oh, you have the receipt? That's right. Okay. Never mind. But I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just return it. And then as soon as they left, I opened this thing up, and I was like poking around with the speaker. And I kind of yanked on the speaker cord, and it just started working. The sounds did. So I don't know what I did. I just yanked on the speaker cords, and all of a sudden, it's making sounds.
May I suggest you put the car in the auto cruise mode?
And I used to watch Knight Rider a lot when I was a kid, so this will have to go by my DeLoreans from Back to the Future at some point. If actually, right after this video, I'm going to put it up there. I just had it on the side so I could put it in the video. Next up for my birthday, my wife got me the, and only because I wanted it, Sunstorm Transformers Masterpiece. This is a lot like the Acid Storm, except with a different colorization. So yeah, I've got it up there on the shelf. It came in the plain mode, which I thought was weird because I kind of remember the other one coming already in the robot mode. I could be wrong though. But what's funny was like they give it to you in the plain mode, and then they give you the instructions on how to change it from the robot to the plain mode, instead of the other way around. So you have to, when you first transform it, you have to read the instructions backwards. But yeah, he looks really cool. I got him up on the shelf. He really stands out because it's kind of dark up there, and yeah, really cool. And it's a Toys R Us exclusive, apparently, is what the sticker says. So there's that. All right, next thing is a what I have in the title, and I think I'm going to title this video something Blue Batman, or have Blue Batman in the title, because it was actually Pocket Migo. He doesn't really make that many YouTube videos nowadays, but he's on Facebook a lot, and he posted this, and I was like, I have to have that, and I pre-ordered it way back in like June or May or June of this year, April, May, June, somewhere around there, and it's Batman, the action figure. You may notice that this looks a lot like the NES game cartridge, except it's thicker. But the reason is because this action figure, he is a blue Batman. He's purple and blue like he was in the video game. So it's like 8-bit Batman from NECO. And they have a bunch of game characters like that are like this. Like they have the Freddy from the LJN NES game. I think they have a Jason that's like him. And there's a couple other ones, but the Batman seemed like the most awesome one because I don't know, it's just so odd. He's so out there. He's purple Batman with blue skin and odd shading. And I don't think this will ever come out of the box because I don't know, the box is a big part of this. And I just think it's really awesome. And I had to get it, and it was $20, and I pre-ordered it a long time ago. I didn't know when it was going to come out. I thought I was going to get this back in October, but this actually came on my birthday too, I think. So it was kind of weird. Yeah, he's got even the back. I don't know if you can really tell in the back there, but the background behind Batman is actually some 8-bit backgrounds from the level of one of the levels of the game. So I can't even see ever taking this out of the case. I might do it just to adjust his feet a little bit, but other than that, no, I can't adjust his. If I cut the plastics, I can move his feet forward a little bit, I think. Because right now, the way he looks kind of weird a little bit, just a little bit. But again, this is so awesome, and I know that I'm gonna take a picture and use this as a thumbnail for this video, because it's a blue Michael Keaton. Hilarious. Okay, moving on. I got some movies, but actually let's move on to some books first, because these books are video game related. First one, I actually just got this in the mail today, which is Sunday, and that's odd because I had an Amazon package delivered to me with a bunch of stuff, and two other things are, actually 3 other things are in this pile. And I got the tracking notification saying it would be delivered on Sunday. I'm like, that cannot be right. Sure enough, 11 o'clock this morning, doorbell rings. USPS delivering a package from Amazon. So go figure. And this is a book that I've seen a bunch of other people talk about. I'm like, yeah, that seems really cool. I think this was like $29.99 on Amazon. And this is the 100 greatest console video games from 1977 to 1987. Which were great years for a video game, so I had to get this. I have some footage of that of her thumbing through it, but not a really big book reader, but I could see myself actually reading through a lot of this. I know that they got a lot of the pictures and information from both Atari Age and the Video Game Critic. Either that, he's just referencing the Video Game Critic. But yeah. Great coffee table book for someone like me, I guess. So this'll be good, even with some of the other video game books that I have. So there's that. Second book here, another book. It's really a comic book, but I got the Lord Carnage book 1 from Classic Gamer. I actually was on the Kickstarter for this, and I thought it was a great idea. I don't remember how much I added in the Kickstarter. It wasn't the cheapest amount, but I wanted to get the hardcover version of the book. It's got a nice dust cover on there, and it's also nice. He actually, he like signed my name in there, Crow, with a little beer guy in there, and also let me just take a little time out to say that all this stuff that you're seeing has been on my Facebook page. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm picking up as I'm picking it up, I always post that stuff to my Facebook page first. So the link to that is in the description. So what else came in here is a CGR sticker, a picture of Lord Carnage and an El Camino and a dinosaur chasing him. And I like how in the corner it says Crow, woo, Mark, and then signed by Mark Bussier. I guess I can't remember his name exactly. Mark. I know it's Mark. There's another little mini poster signed by him. It says Truxton. Mark Bussier. I think Mark Bussier. Man, I never hear anybody say his last name, so now I can't emulate it. Some other stuff here. There's a letter, and I know there's a it's a big kind of little bigger poster of, yeah, it's just a double size of the Intergalactic Space Arcade. And then the rest of the comic is in black and white. And I haven't actually looked through this yet. So yeah, there's yeah, so it was something I could not pass up, because it's just something that's unusual. And the way he labeled this as Lord Carnage book 1 makes me think he wants to do a book 2, or maybe opens up the potential for a book 2. As far as I know, there's not any plans for a book 2, but I guess that opens the door for one. And I really didn't see this before, but on the dust cover in the back here, he's signed it, and it's number 151 out of 275. So there's, as far as I know, there's only 275 of these, or maybe just 275 of these autographed. But yeah, there's the Lord Carnage book 1. Okay, next up. Yes, there has been another Mystery Science Theater 3000 release, and of course I got it. This is Volume 31, the Turkey Day Collection. Now this has just 4 movies in there. What's nice is this is a tin, and it just has all the the normal stuff in there, and it's got the little mini movie posters. But they also gave me a cardboard fold out if I don't want to use the tin. So I thought that was pretty cool, but I'm going to use the tin. And also, I think since I got this through the Shout Factory, I got it a month earlier than a normal release. And I guess they gave coasters. I forgot that if you ordered it through them for a certain limited amount of time, you got a bunch of coasters. Now, I haven't opened them, but there's like, looks like 4 coasters in here, double-sided, and each side has a different movie. Alien Fugitive is on one, and War of the Lost World is on another one. I don't think I'm going to open those. I kind of want to just leave them in the package, and actually just want to kind of leave them in the box, just because. Now, I was kind of thinking, what movies are in here? We got Jungle Goddess, The Painted Hills, The Screaming Skull, and Squirm. And I was thinking, why are these movies the ones for the Turkey Day collection? Because actually, the perfect movie to have in here for the Turkey Day collection would be Night of the Blood Beast, because there's actually 2 different versions of that that episode, and one version has turkey or Thanksgiving-based skits, and the other one doesn't. But they already released that some time ago, so I guess they couldn't just release it again. And I was thinking, well, why these movies? These movies don't seem like they were part of any Turkey Day marathon. And actually, it's more than warranted, because I watched all of these, and all the bonus features have to do with Turkey Day marathons. So that's why this is the Turkey Day marathon. Lastly, we have a bunch of movies here, I guess on a CD, but we'll do the movies first. Picked up at 2nd and Charles, along with Sega Rally 2 and Sledstorm, Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp. The movie didn't really get too high of praise, and I don't think it made that much money, but I saw it in theaters and I kind of liked it, and for a price of $6, that seems like it's still wrapped new. I don't think I was going to pass it up. Oops. I just dropped it. So yeah, Dark Shadows with... Yeah, you're going to keep waiting. Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp. Next is, I knew this was coming out, and I was actually a Television Dude who picked something similar up, and I was like, oh, that's out? I'm going to have to go to Target. I went to Target specifically to get this. I don't think they have it specifically only at Target, but I just went to Target because I was at Best Buy, and Best Buy didn't have it. I was like, what? This is The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, the extended edition, which has more footage in it than the normal theatrical version. I kind of wish they would release both versions at the same time. I don't think they can do that, though. I think they're still only making this, making the extended edition while the movie comes out. But yeah, I kind of want to get the extended versions of all of them, because I have them for Lord of the Rings, so I want them for The Hobbit too. So yeah, I like them. I mean, you could complain all you want that, hey, it's a short book, even shorter than Lord of the Rings. How did they extend it out to a bunch of movies when a lot of the characters, like Legolas, isn't even in The Hobbit? Whatever, it's still a good movie, and I've never really read the book either. Next up, they had a deal with some of the $5 Blu-rays, where if you buy one $5 Blu-ray, you get one at half off. So I bought these 2. I bought Gremlins 2, the new batch, just because it's such an oddball movie. It really is more comedic than the original, and the original is kind of comedic. I still kind of need to get that on Blu-ray, I think, but it's been a long time since I've seen Gremlins 2, so I picked that one up. And then I picked up Black Sheep, which I don't, with Chris Farley and David Spade. And I remember kind of not liking this movie as much as Tommy Boy. And I think that's really the common consensus. But, you know what, for, what, $2.50, $5 or whatever, to get the deal, I wound up picking it up. I thought, okay, I'll do it and rewatch the movie, because I haven't seen this movie since the 90s, so... Oh, funny thing is that there's actually another movie called Black Sheep, and it's, I don't know what country it came out. It wasn't in the U.S., and it came out around almost the same time, and it's a horror movie based with a killer sheep or something like that, and that might actually be a comedy too. I don't know. Next up, I had a thing from Best Buy, $5 off, and that was the reason I was in there, and I wound up picking up Akira on Blu-ray. Now, I've been looking for this for some time, because Akira was one of the very first animes that I've ever seen. Not the very first one, but one of the first. So, this has got us, you know, almost like, I don't know what to say. It's kind of always in my mind, like, oh yeah, they have that movie. But, like, at a place like Fry's, where I see this before, they want like $25 for it. I'm like, that's too much too much money. Too much movie for the money. And but Best Buy had this for $15, and at $15 alone I would have bought it. But then I had the $5 coupon, so I wound up paying like $10 for this. So Akira, great movie, great anime. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Unless you don't like anime, then don't see it. Next up, now these last three items were also in the package I got today along with the book. First movie I got here is a movie I have not seen. And very rarely do I buy a movie without ever seeing it. And this movie is from 1974. And this is Dark Star. I kind of wanted to see this movie on Netflix or something first. But they didn't have it on Netflix. And I was thinking about torrenting it. And I looked it up online and I was like, hey, keep the Blu-ray special edition. And it was like maybe around $10 or something like that on Amazon. I can't remember the exact price. So I was like, I'm just going to buy the movie and that way I'll have a chance to see it, actually owning it. And this is the some kind of special edition that I don't really know about. But again, I haven't seen this movie. It's from 74. It's by John Carpenter, which is a big bonus. And I posted this again on my Facebook, and Ed T1138 actually said, oh, low budget sci-fi comedy at its best, which makes me look forward to seeing this even more. So there's Dark Star. Next is a movie I actually had pre-ordered on Amazon for quite some time, quite a long time, ever since I found out about it, coming out on Blu-ray. UHF with Weird Al Yankovic, one of my favorite comedic movies, with Conan the Librarian and Weird Al's version of Indiana Jones and Rambo. Basically, he takes over a small UHF station, and they wind up getting such good ratings that one of the networks actually is trying to sabotage him because he's taken all his advertising away from him and stuff. Who's in here? A lot of famous people are actually in here for like, what's his name? I'm looking for. I can't remember his name now. Michael Richards from Seinfeld. Fran Drescher's in here, and Victoria Jackson. And what I really find funny about UHF is that most people these days don't even know what UHF is anymore. If you didn't grow up in a time where you had to change the channel with knobs, you don't know what UHF is. It's where they used to broadcast on the higher frequency channels. Because you had the VHF knob and then you had UHF knob. And those were usually channels that were, higher than 13? Alright, and lastly I have one CD here. Don't buy too many CDs these days, but it's more than most people ever buy in their life now, I think. And I got Primus and the Chocolate Factory with the Fungi Ensemble. The reason I have to buy these on CD is because, well, there's a certain bands, groups, people, whatever, whenever they come out with a new album, I have to buy it on CD. Primus is one of them. I have to have all their CDs. I haven't listened to this yet. Now, I bought it off of Amazon, and as soon as I bought it off of Amazon, I could listen to it off of Amazon or download it. In order to download it, you have to install some of their software, and I don't want to do that. And I was ready to listen to it inside the browser, but I don't know what happened. I just didn't. So I got the CD, and I haven't listened to this yet. I heard it's really weird, but I was gonna listen to it in my car today too, and I totally forgot to take it. So yeah, I really have nothing to offer on this, but that I have it. And Primus has a new album out, and I really enjoyed their last one too. Was like Green Naugahyde. So yeah, Primus I usually buy albums for. Weird Al Yankovic, whenever he comes out with a new CD, I buy it. Who else? They Might Be Giants. So I still buy CDs, just not as many as I used to. I haven't really bought that many CDs in a long time anyway, but whenever they come out with, like Devo, like back in 2010 came out with a new album, and I bought that. Their next album was only released digitally, so I couldn't buy that. It was something else for everybody. So I bought and downloaded that, and that's pretty much one of the very first albums I ever bought digitally, just because it wasn't available in a CD format, because I'd rather buy the CD format, rip it myself, and have the MP3s from that. That way I have the disc and the packaging too. So that's pretty much it. I just needed to make a video on all this stuff because it was stacking up high, and And I know I'm going to be getting some stuff in the future too. I mean, Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U is coming out. I know I'm going to get Bayonetta 2 at some point. I know there's some other games. Oh, Grand Theft Auto 5 I know I'll be getting at some point. Maybe not right away, but I know I'll be getting it. And I have gift cards for stores like Best Buy and Target as well, so some of that's going to go towards those. So thanks everyone for watching. See you all next time. Bye.